many Americans probably were most changed both by the fact that it was a TV war, the first war that we were watching on TV, and so it felt very visceral, you know, the footage coming into our living rooms, and then journalism covering it can be studied, and the Pentagon Papers, those kinds of things, probably have had the most influence on sort of our popular culture version of what, you know, happened back then. I think that when we are changed, it is because somehow we read something or heard something that was very personal. Reading the biographies, autobiographies, memoirs, poems of, short stories based on individual experience, you're able to do something that Tim O'Brien actually talks about in one of his short stories in his collection, The Things They Carried. The need to feel it in the gut. We can read histories and analyses of government policy, which are all important for the context of understanding the war. But it's only by reading personal testimony that you feel it where you truly learn it, which is in your gut. It's not just your head. So for instance, a journalist that covered the war and wrote a very important book, and I think very accessible for high school students, is Laura Palmer. And her anthology is called Shrapnel in the Heart. And she traveled the country meeting the families of soldiers who died. She had gone to the Vietnam Wall and to the warehouse that collects all of the mementos left at the wall, and where it was possible to track who had left a certain letter or who had left a certain medal. She found that family and sat down at the kitchen table, you know, with them. And this is an anthology of their responses, you know, sisters and mothers and fathers and brothers of men who died in the war. And the variety of sorrow and retrospective knowledge and pride, it teaches you the complexity for all of those families that in some cases felt obligated to send their son, or the son said, I'm going no matter what you say. So her pieces were part of a column in a newspaper first. And because they were changing people's views on the war, it led to this anthology. In that way, that kind of writing, I think, can be very important.